Really glad my mic was muted for the start of that because I had to let out a big old throat clear. I want to say a big old hello and thank you, God Emperor Cavill, for everything that you do for us. We would be lost without you. Uh, with our homage paid, we're going to catch up on all of the stuff we missed because we were at a wedding, and then I also missed out on last night for no other reason than I was super goddamn tired from 2 really big days and just kind of passed out at early night and slept all the way through to 6 a.m. So, yeah, we're going to catch up on some of the stuff that we missed. And I think we missed CSM. And if my Discord was correct, they were talking about Eldari. But, yeah. Yeah. So, there he is. I was just about to file a missing persons report. Yeah, it's been whatever. Starting from level 1. What the fuck time is it in your part of the world? It is 10:40 p.m. as in nighttime. So yeah, it's our evening. The new detachment always comes out at 10:45, which I'm gonna open up day 13. Which what are we looking forward to next? It is the orcs, which I thought they were going to save for Christmas Eve, but no, not so much. Not so much. So, that's the Eldari. Looks like the Druk got released in the same time frame. Oh, wait, it's all just taking a bit of downloads. So, hang on, the Breaker Boys is up. So, we've actually gotten out ahead of the curve. Armored War Host. We're going to do that one because that's hype as fuck. Wait, Tank Busters, new updated. Okay. Drakari Reaper's Wager. All right, so this is Tank Busters and Breaker Boys. Oh wait, no, this isn't the detachment. This is just stuff, things, excitement. So a couple of new orc units, I think. It's kind of cool. I think this is probably from their kill team, right? Anyway, so where is Eldari? I had that open and then I closed it, question mark. Armored War Host. There we go. So it's Armored War Host, Reaper's Wager. Okay, so let's, oh wait, no, sorry. Let's get up CSM as well. I need to make sure I get it up. The Creations of Bile. That's kind of cool. All right, so to catch up on CSM, because we didn't get to do that 2 nights ago because of the wedding. Hello to everybody that is joining us. It is wonderful to see all of you. As always, as I did at the start of the video, but, you know, we didn't have anybody jumped in because I didn't do a stream starting thing. All hail the God Emperor. He watches over us. He's beautiful. And let's bring up the thing. All right, so comprising abhorrent war bands of augmented Chaos Space Marines, the varied creations of Bile display the depths of the primogenitor's dark genius. Whether devoted to Bile's search for prized specimens and forbidden knowledge, or bartered to ambitious warlords in return for great riches, these altered warriors expand the web of the spider's sinister influence. Each new experiment the Clone Father undertakes is intended to improve upon the works of the Corpse Emperor, and render the transhuman form of a Space Marine more lethal. In battle, his creations utilize their enhanced strength, speed, aggression, and endurance to weather fields of killing fire, plunge into the midst of the enemy and tear their victims apart, even as the genetic mutations induced by the Clone Father begin to overwhelm their altered forms. The detachment rule is experimental augmentations at the start of the battle. Select which augmentations are active for Heretic Astartes infantry models, excluding Damned, from your army until the end of the battle. To do so, either select one of the list below or randomly determine by 2 by rolling 2d6s. If Fabulous Bile is your warlord, when randomly determining your augmentations, you can re-roll one or both of the dice. Duplicated augmentations have no additional effect. That's really cool, but it also suggests if you roll doubles, you just stuck with it. That's it. So you can either get one guaranteed or risk it for the biscuit for 2. So add 1 to the attacks characteristic of melee weapons. Add 2-inch to the move characteristic of the model. Improve the weapon skill by 1 of melee weapons. Improve toughness by 1. Add 1 to strength. or add 1/2 ballistic skill. Now, each of these is useful on its own to sort of like gamble for 2. I wonder if there's going to be just one that they always take. Enhancements and stratagems will obviously tell the tale, though. So surgical precision for 10 points. Heretic Astartes model excluding damned. Bearer's melee weapons have precision. Precision for 10 points. Great. Living Carapace, 15 points. Chaos Lord model only. Add 1 to their wounds, and they have a 5-up Feel No Pain for 15 points. That is great. Helm of All Seeing for 25 points. Heretic Astartes Infantry, excluding damned. Enemy units that are set up on the battlefield from reserves cannot be set up within 12. This, for 25 points, is significantly worse after the change. Now, I think there still will be 6-inch Deep Strike in the game. It's not going to be as rampant as the 3-inch Deep Strike was. Those units all copped like points nerfs and that sort of stuff. But yeah. Hope you're having a good night. Thank you very much, Will. Fiance is watching. Hello, Will's fiance. It is very nice to digitally, parasocially interact with you. Liz says, hi, hello, Liz. Doubles can be avoided with Fabulous Bile. Okay, cool. Yeah, so the reserves, it's nice, and CSM don't have anything like this, but it will depend on your local meta. Prime Test Subject for 35 points. Heretic Astartes Infantry, excluding damn models, add 1 to the damage characteristic of melee weapons equipped. Each time the bearer makes a melee attack, reroll the hit roll. That is extremely powerful, and I can see why that got priced at 35 points. All right, stratagems. As we always do here, and even more, because this is chaos. We're going to be chaotic as fuck. Middle right, Diabolic Regeneration. Your command phase. 1 Heretic Astartes unit, excluding damned from your army. They really don't want you using damned units, and I think I know why. 1 destroyed model, excluding character models, is returned to your unit. If your unit is battle line, however, D3 destroyed models are returned. Pretty cool. Use it on like Terminators, that sort of shit. Or have battle line, which, you know, I think CSM runs a fair amount of Legionnaires in certain builds. So D3 models back to it is quite good, especially for 1 CP. Bottom left. Specimens for the Spider. 2 CP for this one. Fight phase. 1 Heretic Astartes infantry unit from your army that has not been selected to fight this phase. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit makes a melee attack that targets a character unit, you can re-roll the wound roll. Remember, this is a character attached to a bodyguard unit. That is a character unit. You don't have to be specifically targeting the character within it. After your unit's fought, if 1 or more enemy character models was destroyed as a result of those attacks, select 1 enemy unit within 6. That unit takes a battle shock test. If the enemy warlord was destroyed as a result of those attacks, each enemy unit within 6 of your unit must take battle shock instead. This is functionally 2 CP for full rerolls to wound against a character. It's not super powerful. Like, it is good for the niche that it's in, but it's a niche at the end of the day. So, yeah. Top right, delayed mutations. Your command phase, 1 Heretic Astartes infantry unit excluding damn from your army. Your unit suffers D3 mortal wounds and select 1 augmentation. Until the start of your next command phase, models in your unit have the selected augmentation in addition to any other augmentations they have. I kind of figured this would happen. D3 mortal wounds makes sense from the fluff text of, like, you know, it's overcoming them. But yeah, auto stims, start of your charge phase, 1 Heretic Astartes unit. Your unit's eligible to declare a charge in a turn in which it advanced. Extremely powerful for 1 CP. Love it. And last one, Masters are watching. Master. I'm sorry. Fight phase, just after an enemy unit has selected its targets. 1 Heretic Astartes infantry unit from your army that was selected as the target of 1 or more of those attacking units attacks. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit is destroyed, fight on death, subtracting 1 from the result if it's damned. Pretty cool. This for CSM looks good. Doesn't look broken. It's got some good strats, got some mid strats. Competitive scene, I don't know that we'll see this all that much. I'll have to leave it for the CSM gurus. Yeah. Let's go into Eldari, because I actually quite do like Eldari. Actually, let's check if the new ones come out. Let's get on it. So we're looking for... Breaker Boys was not the orcs. I thought it was, but it wasn't. Ratlings, Orcs, Tactical Brigade. All right, let's start with them, and then we'll go over Eldari and the Drook. So, Tactical Brigade. You know what? I'm gonna go full RP. We have the WA on the Twitch channel, which, by the way, did you know that you get enough points to make me WA if you subscribe using your Prime or just using those old dollary dues, and you get to hear me roar like an orc. It's a great reason to go over Twitch, drop a sub, do the things. The orcs who belong to the Blood Axe clan seek to apply their own brand of tactics to their endless wars. The most cunning of Blood Axe leaders have adapted the strategies of other species into a unique brand of cranberry stein warfare that, while simplistic, is brutally effective. Detachment rule. Listen here! Once per battle round, in your command phase after being set up on the battlefield in your movement phase, each boss Necrot, mech, and war boss model in your army can use tactics abilities. Can issue tactics abilities. To do so, select one or two of the tactics abilities below and select one friendly Orcs unit within 6 inches of that model to issue to them. They're guard. I feel like this is a nod to Commissar Yarrick and how much the Orcs revere him. I think that's actually kind of fucking cool. If you selected 2 tactics, that model must take a leadership test. If failed, the selected unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. That's kind of fucking cool. Until the start of your next command phase, the selected unit is affected by the selected tactics. A unit cannot have tactics issued to it in this way more than once per battle round. Tactics abilities cannot be issued to battle-shocked units. And if a unit affected by tactics becomes battle-shocked, all tactics cease to affect that unit while it is battle-shocked. That is interesting. So, note that they can't lose them. This is a leadership test, not a battle-shock test. So, you can freely opt to roll the dice on whether you get mortal wounds or not for 2 of them, but you can't issue tactics to somebody who's battle-shocked, or if, like, say, the Nids battle-shock you midway through, bam, that's done. So, get stuck in! You can reroll charge rolls made for this unit. Get on with it! Add 1 to the strength characteristic of melee weapons equipped by models in this unit. Sneaky stalking. Infantry and mounted models, excluding Meganobs, in this unit have the stealth ability, and each time a ranged attack targets this unit, those models have the benefit of cover. Tau fans were living good. Lol, at all of that. Shooter drills! Each time an infantry or mounted model in this unit makes a ranged attack, add 1 to the hit roll. Keywords. Storm Boys get the battle line keyword. Oh my god. Okay, make boys boys again. Enhancements. Squad leader. War boss model only. During the declared battle formation step, the bearer can be attached to a commandos unit. While leading a commandos unit, it has the infiltrators and stealth abilities. So you can put a war boss with commandos. That's kind of cool. I don't remember off the top of my head what the war boss actually gives them, but I'm assuming it'll be decent. Mech Captain. Big mech in mega armor, or big mech with shock attack gun. During the declared battle formation step, the bearer can be attached to a flash gits unit. Each time a model in the bearer's unit makes a ranged attack, you can reroll the hit roll. So it's a model in the bearer's unit, meaning the whole flash gits unit gets rerolls to hit. 35 points. I think that's fairly goddamn powerful. Mork's Cunning. Orcs models only. So it's all orcs. Characters. After both players have deployed their army, select up to 3 orcs units from your army and redeploy them. When doing so, you can set them up in Strat Reserve, regardless of how many units are already in Strat Reserve. That is extremely powerful. We've already seen from Cao Yon that redeploys are exceedingly powerful. God Boomer! That's what I get to tell you every now and then. War boss or mech model only. Each time the bearer issues tactics, it can do so to a friendly Orcs infantry or Orcs mounted unit within 18 instead of 6. This is an auto attack. This will be taken in every goddamn list every single time without a question. All right. Stratagems. Dassaults! Command phase. One Orcs unit from your army that is within engagement range of one or more enemy units. Until the start of the next command phase, add 1 to OC of models in the unit. That's actually really good. So you're engaged into people, which you'll be wanting to do anyway, and you get to the point. And notice it says command phase. Not your command phase, not enemy command phase, just command phase. Crunching Descent. Your charge phase, just after a Storm Boys unit from your army ends a charge move. That Storm Boys unit, select one enemy unit within range of your unit, then roll 1d6 for each model in your unit that is within engagement range of that enemy unit. For each 4+, they suffer 1 mortal wound to a max of 6 mortal wounds. It's grenades on the charge. Really, really nice. Fight proper! Fight phase. One Orcs infantry or Orcs mounted unit from your army that's not been selected to fight. Select sustained hits or lethal hits. Until the end of the phase, melee weapons equipped by models have their selected ability. Dead Sneaky. End of the opponent's fight phase. One commandos a Storm Boys unit from your army, not within engagement range. Remove them from the battlefield, placed in a strategic reserve. That is extremely powerful, especially for Storm Boys. You send Storm Boys over to a far objective, they clean up, they kill whatever unit's there, your opponent doesn't have anything to send over, but you're done over there and there's a lot of action going on the other side of the board. You don't need that objective, or there's another unit of yours that can get in range of it. You go, cool, bang, pick them up, and then over they go and you can deep strike them in. All right. On to the next. Your opponent's movement phase just after an enemy unit falls back. Orcs unit from your army that was within engagement range of them, your unit can make a normal move up to 6 inches. Now, your brain might go to following a unit. That probably isn't the proper application of this. This is likely to walk back behind a wall so you can't be shot, which means that you get a lot of your units very, very safe. Tactical retreat! Your movement phase just after an Orcs unit falls back. That Orcs unit, until the end of the turn, your unit is eligible to shoot and declare a charge in which turn in which it fell back. Really great, really great. This is a banger. This is an absolute banger. Reroll charge rolls and +1 to hit on Orcs is insane enough. Against non-Tau, stealth, and benefits of cover. Strength to the melee weapons, I guess, will come up every now and again when you need to hit a certain breakpoint, but I think that these two will be the less used ones. This one may be early in the game. When you're worried about people getting on top of you, you got a stage, you got a whatever, and then later in the game, reroll charge rolls and add 1 to hit. Really, really good. Especially if you go down the route of putting somebody with flash kits, having something else which has got a bit of DACA. Yeah. I like it. This is a massive dub. This is a massive dub. I really, really, really love that. Really love that. That's massive, GW. I'm actually very, very impressed with you. All right, let's go to Armored Warhost. When unleashed upon the battlefield in number, the vehicles of the Eldari can bring a terrifying volume of firepower to bear with exceptional speed. As supersonic Eldari aircraft suppress the enemy with strafing and bombing runs, sleek battle skimmers sweep low across war-scarred terrain, hunting down and obliterating their targets with scintillating volleys. Successive waves of armored transports follow their shields and wraithbone hulls, turning aside incoming munitions as they sweep low to disgorge waves of aspect warriors and guardian soldiers into the fight. As the Eldari infantry move to seize their objectives and annihilate the enemy, agile walkers sprint towards the flanks of the overwhelmed foe, their guns spitting vibrant streams of enfilading fire into massed enemies and ensuring that none escape the wrath of the Asuriani. Yeah, you definitely in good company there, level 1. All the great detachment rules just make me resent how many hoops you got to jump through for the greater good. And bear in mind, that's our army rule, so we're still going to have that on top of whatever restrictions they put on the detachment. Which at the moment, I'm expecting you must have an ethereal. If that ethereal dies, you lose the game, and all incoming fire to any unit on the battlefield gets redirected to that ethereal. That's kind of what I'm expecting for our detachment at the moment. I think that's probably on the ballpoint. All right, so detachment rule is skilled crews. Ranged weapons equipped by Eldari vehicle models from your army have the assault ability, and you can reroll advanced rolls made for Eldari vehicle fly units from your army. That is really cool. I love the idea. Like, I do love the Eldari jet bikes. They are probably one of the things that I would get from the Eldari range just kind of for myself. All right, Guiding Presence, 25 points. Eldari Psyker model only. At the start of your shooting phase, select one friendly Eldari vehicle model within 9 of the bearer. Until the end of the phase, each time that model makes an attack, add 1 to the hit roll, +1 to hit on fire prisms, on frickin', well, you wouldn't use it on the Night Spinners because if they're doing their indirect, but if you're firing directly, that can be good for them. Do it on like a big-ass bike unit where you've got, you know, the Warlocks following them, or the Farseers on Sky Runners following them, and then doing that for +1 to hit on all of the mass volume of shooting. That could be really, really good. Harmonization Matrix, Eldari model only in your command phase. If the bearer or any transport it is embarked within, that is fucking great, GW. More of that. Is within range of an objective marker you control. Roll 1d6 on a 3-up. You gain 1 CP. They get it on a 3-up, and an ethereal, which are our highest leadership cast, get it on a 4-up. Fuck you, I'm playing Eldari. I'm just going to buy all the Eldari, speed paint it, and I'm playing Eldari. Fuck you. Eldari Saga model only for the Spirit Stone of Raylith. 20 points. While the bearer is within 3 inches of one or more friendly Eldari vehicle units, they have Lone Up. In your command phase, you can select an Eldari vehicle within 3. They heal up to D3 lost wounds. That is a great one to have. We've seen this on like Tech Marines, and I think one of the other detachments that got introduced had this. Might have been Crons, I want to say, but yeah. Want to sell speed pay commissions? I mean, maybe. We'll see what you charge. Eldari model only. If your army includes the bearer, after both players have deployed their army, select up to 3 Eldari vehicle units from your army and redeploy them. When doing so, they can blah, 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 blah. Really great. Especially good when you consider Eldari is a lot like Tau. They hit hard. They get a lot of movement tricks, but then they just get like fucking murdered. So you have to kill your opponent or use movement tricks to win the game. Redeploys just make it so much more comfy. All right, stratagems, layered wards. Any phase just after a mortal wound is allocated to an Eldari vehicle. They get a 5-up, feel no pain against it. That's nice. Anti-grav repulsion. Your opponent's charge phase, one Eldari vehicle from your unit that can fly and was selected as a target, -2 to charge. Fucking excellent. Cloud Strike. Start of the reinforcement step of your movement phase. One Eldari vehicle from your army that can fly and is in strat reserves. Until the end of the phase, your unit has Deep Strike. When your unit is set up on the battlefield using Deep Strike, it can be set up anywhere more than 6. But if it does, it's not eligible to declare a charge. In addition, if your unit is a transport, each unit that disembarks from it this turn must be set up more than 6 inches horizontal from all enemy units. Until the end of the turn, not eligible to declare a charge. This is still extremely powerful. One, this puts into perspective that you are eligible to disembark units when they come in from Strat Reserve or Deep Strike from transports. Tau players take note. Breaches in Devilfish, come in, get out, be in range E10 and just blow somebody up and they didn't expect it. It is quite a lot of fun. Quite a lot of fun. Or do that with your Tide Walls. Tide Walls don't need to move far if they're coming in from Strat Reserve. Just saying. Swift deployment. Your movement phase, one Eldari transport from a unit from your army. Until the end of the phase, units can disembark from your transport after it's advanced. Units do so count as having made a normal move, cannot declare a charge, but can otherwise act normally. So we've got Tau, Votan, Vectored Engines, movement phase after it falls back, you can shoot. So Tau, Votan, Sisters, Custodes, and then this one, Tau. I mean, obviously not the transport bit, but Wreck Carter. And then Soul Sight, Soul Sight, your shooting phase, one Eldari vehicle from your army has not been selected to shoot this phase. Until the end of the phase, each time your unit is selected to shoot, you can reroll one hit roll, one wound roll, and one damage roll made for a model in your unit. If you are using fast dice rolling, you can select one of those rolls before moving on to the next step of the attack sequence. This is nice to put in, stops arguing, because a lot of people didn't realize GW put in fast rolling rules where you don't have to one at a time anymore to spend a CP or whatever. This is triple fire prism. And one of those fire prisms rerolls a hit, rerolls a wound, rerolls the damage roll. Like, yeah. I guess you could argue like Bright Lancers on your walkers. Risu, how you doing? If the Ethereal dies, you lose this game, next game in any tournament. You play it in next month. Banger detachment rule. Let's get it going. I love this Eldari detachment. I think this is really, really goddamn cool. Really cool. All right, let's go into the Drook. Reaper's Wager. Ooh, that's a cool name. I need to channel my inner edgelord for this one. The Reaper's Wager is among the most macabre Sadaths, depicting a gruesome tale of murderous bets between merciless killers and mythic executioners. It is a well-known tale that is greatly enjoyed in the depths of the Dark City, when Harlequin and Drukhari go to war as one. Comorite warriors often perform an accompanying role in its retelling. Bladed Drukhari transports emerge from the webway, alongside scintillating Harlequin skimmers emblazoned with dazzling adornments. Kabbalite warriors open fire upon the foe from firing decks, and witches howl and whoop as they leap acrobatically into the fray. As Harlequin troops begin their gore-slick recital, they inhabit their roles wholeheartedly, competing furiously with their Drukhari allies to score the greatest tally of luridly violent kills. I went more Shakespearean than edgelord, but I should have just opened with, I play Drukhari posers, and that's all the fluff text. But looks like Quinn's detachment. Callous Competition is the detachment rule. At the start of the battle, Drukhari units from your army are winning the wager. Oh boy. Each time a Drukhari unit from your army destroys an enemy unit, Drukhari units from your army are winning the wager. Each time a Harlequin's unit from your army destroys an enemy unit, Harlequin units from your army are winning the wager. While Drukhari units from your army are winning the wager, Harlequin units from your army are losing, and vice versa. Each time a Drukhari or Harlequin's unit from your army makes an attack, if that model's unit is losing the wager, reroll a hit roll of 1 and reroll a wound roll of 1. So the more a type of unit goes, the worse it gets. And you want to be a loser to win. I mean, thematically, it's fucking awesome. Like, if you're behind in the wager, you push yourself to get those kills of the people you're going to take as slaves and the women and the children. Oh, boy. That got dark real quick. You can include Harlequins units from your army. So Strike Force, it's up to half of your army. No Harlequins can be your warlord. That's really cool that Harleys still exist. Arch Raider for 15 points. Harlequins or Drukhari. In declared battle formation step, if the bearer starts a battle embarked within a dedicated transport, that has Scout 9. Extremely powerful. Holy shit. Tau, make sure you've got your infiltrators. Webway Walker, 15 points. Harlequins or Drukhari model only. Models in the bearer's unit have the Deep Strike ability. Each time the bearer's unit is set up on the battlefield using the Deep Strike ability, if that unit is currently losing the wager, until the end of the turn, you can reroll charge rolls made for that unit. Okay. So you'd be able to skew your list in a way where you could guarantee that one unit is winning the wager. But, yeah. Yeah, okay. So full rerolls to charge for 15 points. Reaper's Cowl, 25 points. Harlequins only. Models in the bearer's unit have Stealth and Infiltrator. Ooh, that's interesting. Infiltrators for Harlequins is fucking terrifying. Conductor of Torment, 20 points. Drakari model only. In your command phase, you can do one of the following. If your Drakari units are currently losing the wager, you can gain 1 pain token. If you do, Drakari units from your army are now winning the wager. This is command phase. Losing, gain a pain token, you're now winning. If your Drakari units are currently winning, you can discard a pain token, and now your Harlequins are winning. So you have this. This seems like an auto-include. This is protecting against any bad luck. This also means that your order of activation is going to be extremely important. You want to activate a Drakari unit while Drakari are losing the wager, kill a unit, move on to a Harlequin unit, and they get their reroll, hit roll, and wound roll of 1. That is interesting. Okay. All my homies, if you know, you know, it's time for the dance macabre. Sashay right, shimmy left. If you know, you know. 2CP, dance macabre. Your opponent's movement phase just after an enemy unit ends a normal advance or fall back move. 1 Drakari infantry or Harlequin's infantry that's within 9 of that enemy unit. Your unit can make a normal move up to D6. If your unit is currently losing the wager, it can make a normal move up to 6. Saw this from the Orcs. It was cheaper for the Orcs and less restrictions. That's dumb. Huh? Anyway, 2CP with a couple of restrictions thrown in. It's fine, I guess. It would have been nice if this was 1CP, just mirror what you gave the Orcs. I don't know why that needed to change, but yeah. Fateful Roll. Fight phase just after an enemy unit has selected its targets. 1 Drakari or Harlequin's unit from your army that was selected as the target of one or more of those attacks. It is a fight on death, 4+, adding 1 to the result if that unit is losing the wager. So fight up on a 3-up, that's pretty nice. Shorten the odds. Your movement phase just after a Drakari or Harlequin's unit from your army has advanced. Until the end of the turn, they can shoot and declare a charge. Really good 1CP strat. Malicious Frenzy, your shooting or fight phase. 1 Drakari or Harlequin's unit from your army that has not been selected to shoot or fight this phase. Select lethal hits or sustained hits. We saw this from the CSM. Scintillating Tempo. Your movement phase or your charge phase, just after a Drakari or Harlequin's unit from your army is selected to make a normal advance or fall back move, is set up on the battlefield or declares a charge. Until the end of the turn, enemy units cannot use the Fire Overwatch stratagem to shoot at your unit. For this alone, that is insane. And that's movement or charge phase. This is where most of your goddamn CP is probably going to go against any sort of good shooting army. Murderer's Circus. For 1 CP, fight phase just after an enemy unit selects its targets. 1 Drakari or Harlequin's unit from your army that was selected as the target. -1 to hit. Really nice. Really nice. This is a solid detachment. This is a really solid detachment. It gives you a way to play your Harlequins. It's thematic as fuck. There's probably a few more restrictions than I would normally like, and I can definitely see this being something where people either inadvertently or advertently cheat because of the wager winning losing thing, losing track of it purposefully or accidentally. But that is really cool. That is really, really, really cool. Love it. All right, so at the end of the Orcs, what are we getting? Let's go back. Let's go to the Grotmas calendars. We'll have to refresh because the Orc thing has to be up by now. Oh wait, was it Orcs? I think it was Orcs. What do we got coming tomorrow? Of course, it's the Astra Militarum. That so makes sense. Damn, Sam, you're getting your detachments like back to back to back to back to back. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say that after this one, it's going to be Sisters. I reckon Sisters are getting theirs next. But, yeah. So, out of all of those, CSM is kind of the meh one for me. I'm definitely biased because I've never been much of a Chaos person. Orcs were a massive win. I don't know how powerful it's going to be, but by the god, Emperor Cavill, does that look fun? Like, yeah, it makes me want to have orcs. The Armored Warhost from the Eldari, I love. It makes me want to get Eldari right freaking now. And the Drakari one and the Harlequins one, really cool. Really, really cool. I like that they did both flavors. All three flavors of Eldari on the one day. I think that was a good choice. But World Eaters next. Oh, okay. CSM is amazing. I have to take your word for it. Because I don't know the data sheets and a lot of that sort of stuff, I can't piece together what the stratagems or the combos might be. But yeah. I love the Drakara Quins. That's a great name. I'm stealing that. I love the Drakara Quins one a lot. Yeah, it looks really good. Tau on Thursday for my maximum birthday disappointment. Well, in part, I hope you're wrong because I want my Tau detachment so I can be disappointed early. But also, hopefully we do get it on your birthday. Let's see. Could be garbage, but it's amazing because it means I can play my 30k Emperor's Children. Yeah, okay, fair. But yeah, these detachments are, there's a lot of reused assets, but I don't hate that. I really don't. Because if they weren't able to use those things, I think we would have gotten some pretty poor implementations of stuff in terms of like balance or even them just thinking it through. So using tried and tested stuff is pretty cool. I am actually potentially going to try and put together an Eldari list and start learning them on TTS. Because that is really, really awesome. I mean, like, we've got some Eldari in the house because Chell loves them. And I've been wanting to learn them anyway because I'm on a trek to learn every faction in 40k. And that's a pretty good jumping off point, honestly. I do not hate that at all. That is really cool. That is really, really cool. But yeah, that's our Grotmas for today. I hope everybody was well the last few days that I had to be away. But I was at a very beautiful wedding. Shout out Pat and Annie, who I love very much, who honestly had like such a beautiful wedding. The golf course was amazing that they had their reception at. The, dance on the green with everybody holding their phones up was just cute as fuck. And it's like the most anything ever. But yeah, what detachment do you hope we get for Tau? Got my Drakari detachment on my birthday, but I don't have Harlequins. Let's see what they do for my... Well, happy birthday, JFun12. I'm assuming that was yesterday because I was away for 2 days. I don't remember exactly when it came out, but yeah, happy birthday. Everybody drop some happy birthdays in the chat for him. Panny mentioned hype. Well, actually, remember, Annie took ownership of that, and it's now Panic. It's not Panny, it's Panic, which I stand behind. Now I just need one that I don't 100-0 with my current army. What detachment do I hope we get? I love, like, there's a couple of ideas I like. Obviously, I put a video out on Rignon. I would love that. I love the idea that's being floated around a couple of times in my last streams of, like, Walker-specific ones for, like, Riptides and Storm Surges and stuff. Like having, a friggin' Storm Surge Kool-Aid Man through the wall and having a bunch of benefits and everything else. I think that sounds fucking awesome. I think what we're probably going to get is like a Unity detachment, like Ethereals and Auxiliaries and Tau all working together hand in hand, blah, blah, blah. Help the Kroot range sell and all that sort of stuff. That's my... fuck, why is my brain betraying me? My tinfoil hat, pessimistic sort of view of it, but I genuinely do hope I'm wrong. I genuinely do. Would love a V8 detachment. That would be fucking baller. Please, yes, give us a V8 detachment. Storm Surges aren't effective by split fire penalty. It just, like, yeah, it would be a monkey paw moment because that's what we want for the entire goddamn army. But, like, they're just so resistant to ever removing it. Like, oh, God, I hate it. And you know what? A part of me gets it when we had 6-man crisis bricks that could take all cyclics. Because no split fire penalty on that is just redonkulous. But there's nothing with that kind of volume in the index anymore. Oh, the codex. It's, yeah. An upgrade to ignore? Yeah. Let's get an enhancement for 35 points that says if the bearer is in your army, you may include Tau units in your army. I think that'd be a really good enhancement. I think that'd be great. Walking attachment with your class, would like to get a Storm Surge off the shelf? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Reptar and Mrs. Reptar have been languishing on the shelf for way too long. Like war gear, I meant. Yeah, you include this war gear and you're allowed to shoot your weapons for 40 points. I think that'd be a good one. I think that'd be a good one. All right, I got to stop being a shit heel and let's go. When did Reptar get married? Unfortunately, there's been a couple of Mrs. Reptars. So the first Mrs. Reptar was when Chris O'Neill lent me his, but he had to take that back when he went up to NT. And now Flano has loaned me his, and I've married them up pretty quick. So Reptar, like his dad, is a bit of a slut. But what else would you expect from my beautiful boy, from my absolutely gorgeous man? Divorced once? Oh, he's going to get divorced so many more times than that. So many more times. Because Flano's going to want it back at some point, which means in 10 years' time, when I have money again after having my son, I may look at getting another Storm Surge. And then he'll be married. And then I'll just constantly be divorcing him and they'll get back together and divorce him and get back together. We're going to be playing Neighbours up in here. For any of my international audience, which is actually most of you, Neighbours is a soap opera in Australia, one of the most popular ones. It's Home and Away and its neighbours are the Australian institutions. Or at least they were when I was growing up. Now I don't know anything about them. Like, Mum and Dad used to watch them. Well, Mum used to watch them and Dad used to be forced because he wanted to sit down because, he worked like fucking 12 hours a day. And so he just wanted to sit down and do nothing, and that was the best way to do it. But they were always on UK TV too. Oh, interesting. But yeah. So they're going to be playing. I'm going to Geordie Shore with Storm Surges and Riptides, and throw in one Kroot Hound just to see how crazy it gets. My God, that's actually a content idea. Can you imagine how funny that would be done well, like with all the talking heads and everything? Holy shit! Now I got to buy 1,000 points Ricari and Harlequins. Yeah, I feel you. I got to buy 2,000 points of Eldari. Wait, no, I don't. I'll get someone to print me 2,000 points of Eldari. The 90s Home and Away theme song will be in my head for the next few days. You are welcome. You are so welcome. It's ridiculous. I just help everywhere I go, Hard not to. All right, I'm going to stop yapping. It's been a long day, and I am ready to go die on my bed, or maybe on the floor. I don't know. We'll see how we go. But it has been wonderful seeing all of you. It's been wonderful reading these attachments. I hope you will join me tomorrow night after my raid, and we will go through the Astra Miracharum. Where's Yarick? Good night, everybody. Merry Grotmas, and we'll see you tomorrow night.